Hello everyone, today I'll be showing you how to get sub 5 on 2x2 using the Ortega/Varceno method. Before you move on, I'd like to suggest you to watch one of my previous videos which is called How to Break Any Barrier in Speed Cubing. In that video I discussed some specific practice techniques which would further make this process much more easier. This video is divided into 4 sections. In the first one, I discuss about the hardware, the kind of lubrication that you need to give to your cube. In the second section, I will be talking about turns per second or the TPS that you should have throughout. And in the third one, I'll be giving you some specific 2x2 techniques related to each and every step that you need to go through. And in the last section, it's going to be some walkthroughs. So let's jump into it. So talking about hardware is something very important, especially in case of an event like 2x2. Unlike some other big event where a small mistake in some particular step can be covered up by doing the next step in a good way, doing it fast. The 2x2 is a very short event in which even a single lockup can result into very bad solves. So you need to make sure that the cube you're using is pretty good and can support your solves and help you out throughout. There are 3 cubes that I recommend in the market right now. The first one is the Moyu Vapor. The second one is the Dian 2x2, which I don't have, preferably the old plastic Dian 2x2. And third is the Moyu Lingpo. There are many other 2x2s as well, like the VIT2. There's a Tangpo. There's a Yukshin 2x2 and a couple of G 2x2s as well, but I just recommend these 3. And another thing that I wanted to say is don't just make your cubes very fast. Don't put a lot of fast lubricants in them, because more fast the cube is, the more chances are that it will overshoot and result into lockups and bad solves. Try to lubricate your cube with a cube that is slightly heavier so that your cubes give you a moderate speed and don't overshoot and you get fluid solves. So this is pretty much that I want to talk about hardware. Let's move on and talk about the TPS. TPS for 2x2 can't be something like very slow, especially if you want to get sub 5. I mean, this kind of slow TPS can get you sub 5, but sub 5 minutes. If you want to get sub 5 seconds, you surely don't want to go this much slow. Neither do you want to just spam TPS like this all throughout. Your speed for sub 5 should be moderate, so that you don't get too much lockups, because if you go too fast, you'll end up getting choppy solves, and then you'll have huge pauses in between, and you don't want pauses. So there are 3 steps in solving a 2x2. First is a layer, then you do the OLL, then you do the PBL. So you want your layer to be moderately fast, not too fast, not neither too slow. You want it to be moderately fast so that you can have a look on what's going on for the OLL. And the OLL2 you want to go moderately fast so that you can have a look at what PLL you might get, PBL. But once you jump into the PBL, you recognize the case, you recognize the AUF that you can get. It's all about spamming TPS, because there's no step after PBL so that you can look ahead or something like that. Just spam TPS at PBL, and the rest of the stage just go slow, at moderate speeds, and this kind of TPS will help you in getting sub 5. Yeah. So moving on to some specific techniques that you'll need for sub 5 2x2 using Ortega. So tip number 1, be color neutral. I'll hope that most of you guys out there might be just color neutral, but for those who aren't, go for it. It's not that difficult. It's much easier than you might think it is. So yeah, go for color neutral straight away. Tip number 2, Your phase should be somewhere around 4 to 5 moves, and it should be executed well under 1 second. So as I said, 4 to 5 moves is a layer that you might want. Here are some examples, some cases that you must know. The first one is something I needn't talk about much. You've got 3 colors solved at the bottom, and there's the last one is somewhere around in this axis, somewhere here. And all such cases can be solved can be solved in 3 moves. So if it's here, here, or anywhere on this thing, it can be solved in 3 moves. So yeah, it's pretty much simple. Moving on to the next case, where you have 3 solved on the bottom and this 1 on the top. So this is pretty easy as well. It can be solved in, all such cases can be solved in 4 or 3 moves. So what you want to do is, just wherever this piece is at the bottom is, you take it, you bring it to such a position that when you bring this bottom piece up, it gets connected to that one. So if I track it to the top, it will reach here. So I want this piece to be right here. So I'll just take it to over there, connect, bring it over, and just solve it like that. It can be used for any. So once again, the piece is down here. You bring it to the position where it gets matched with the other color, and just bring it over like that. Simple, isn't it? Moving on to the next case, which is somewhat derived from the previous one. You've got this bar on the bottom and you've got these 2 on the top. So what you want to do here is hide this one, bring this over, bring it back, and you've got this bar on top. Just solve it normally. Next one. So you got this bar and one color is right here and the other one's here. So there are basically 2 ways you can solve this. The first one is actually derived from the previous 2 cases. You just move it over and solve it like that. The other way to do this is also equally efficient. You can just keep this bar right here, bring this to the bottom, and which will end up moving this here, and you can just simply insert it. So do an F2, insert. This is pretty good as well. Moving on to the last case. This thing is pretty nice. So instead of solving this last twisted piece like somewhat like this or somewhat like this, it's much more efficient to just bring it over and insert this piece over here. So yeah, and it is just you want your layer to be within 4 to 5 moves maximum. So tip number 3, you want to predict your bar position and try to keep it in the front. So what basically bar position is, knowing if you gonna end up having a bar on the bottom and just tracking it and keeping it in the front. So let me show you just some of the cases that you might get. Okay, so let me just so say you want to just insert this last piece in at the back. So the best way to do this would be something like bringing this over and solving it, and you want to track your bar position. So in this case, you'll know it's already right here, so there's not much difficulty. Just insert and rotate it like this to keep it in the front. In other cases, what you might get is something like this, where you've got 3 pieces solved here, and there's bar neither here neither here. So you pretty much know that there's either going to be a bar here and here, because it's not gonna form at the back there. So you just need to not see where it'll form. Here's the red piece. So let me see if there's something that matches up with the red. There's no red here, so I'm pretty much sure now there's not gonna be any bar here. But let me see. Here's the orange one, and we do have an orange here. So it's simple enough. We're gonna form an orange bar here. So I'll just insert it, and instantly move like this to get the bar in front. Another way to do this is just tracking it over. So I see when I do insert this, when I do an RU R prime, I do an R, I'll bring this over here, and when I do a U, I bring this orange here. So I'll get a bar, orange bar here, and when I bring the R prime, I do an R prime, I'll get this bar here. So I'm gonna end up with an orange bar here. So yeah, just play around with this thing a bit. At first it might seem a bit difficult, it did to me as well, but believe me, it's just a piece of cake. These things will be more clear once we proceed into the next section of this tutorial, that is the walkthroughs. But as for now, let's move on to the next step. Tip number 4, and this tip is pretty much optional, just skip it if you want to, but it might just help. So it is, just try to predict OLL when there's a very easy layer. So just try to do that. So suppose you have a layer something like, okay, so you suppose you have a layer, you're solving the white here, and you have a layer something like, you got a bar here and another bar here. So it's just a very easy layer, just one mover. You need to bring this, do an R2 to bring this down here. But here what we can do is just look at what we're gonna get next. Look into what OLL we're gonna get. So I know we have got a bar here, so this is gonna stay here because we just moving with playing with the R layer. This is not gonna move here. Further, this bar is gonna move to here. So what eventually will form is a bar here and a bar here, and this case is something very familiar. It's just the F6 F prime. So what I can do here is just do an R2 and straight get into solving F R U R prime U prime F prime. So this way. So just think of it as fun looking the entire thing, solving the layer and solving the OLL. If you can solve the layer and the OLL together, it's equivalent to something like CLL or EG, where you do a thing first. In this case, it's the layer and OLL, and you finally finish with the PBL. If you think it in that manner, it's pretty much equal to EG or CLL. So yeah, this is what trying to predict OLL. It's not something you should force yourself upon at this stage, but try to do it for some easy cases. So okay, next, moving on to the tip number 5. Work on recognition of last layer cases, especially OLL. So suppose you've got this thing and you just finished your so just finished your layer, and you get to see this thing over here. So you shouldn't just try to look over where the other piece is. It's pretty much clear that it's what you call the, I don't actually remember but the name of this OLL, but it's pretty much clear that you need to, what alg you need to do, just rotate and eventually do that alg. Similarly, if you solve the layer and you got this bar in front and you can't see anything at the back, there's no need to just look at the back like that or do a U2 to see what's there. It's pretty much obvious that you know what case it is. So once you no need to look around, just try and work on recognition and just solve it like that easily. Tip number 6, you should know your finger tricks pretty well. So you should not be hanging around with the algs there. You should know your finger tricks. Try to use some fancy finger tricks as well. It works sometimes, and always look for better algs. That's pretty much I wanted to say over here. And the last section is, and the last step is pretty much important. It's knowing your AUFs. So say we ended up here and know this, we've got a bar over here and this bar here. So at this stage I should know where, because it's not going to solve after I finish with my the PBL alg. I'm gonna be left with the AUF. So I need to figure out what AUF I'm gonna getting next. Okay, so I see that this blue one, I have another blue here. So once I solve this, I need to move this over to here to get to the solved position. So once I immediately solve this and straight to the EUF without just looking over, it actually helps wasting 1 or 2 seconds, and it's really helpful. So that's pretty much I wanted to talk in techniques regarding 2x2. We'll just move into the next section, that is walkthrough solves, and things will get much more clear in that. This was the longest section, I'm sorry for that, but this is something you need to work on. So let's move into walkthroughs. I'll provide the scrambles in the description so you can follow along. Okay, so here's the first scramble. I see there's a good red here, and I know my bar as well. So there won't be a bar here because it's not there, and there's a green here and white, so it won't form here too. I would bring this down and I would insert this with a 3 mover. So I'll end up with a yellow here, and since yellow matches with this yellow, I'm going to be forming a yellow bar here. And if I try to look further into the OLL, all I can see is this orange piece is gonna end up here only. So I'll bring this down. As I predicted, this bar is right here, and the orange piece was there too. And I immediately went to this into OLL, and I know by looking here and here, it's this. So yeah. Next scramble. Alright. There's no way I would not do a green here, because I know I'll be forming a layer. So forming a layer helps you with knowing that there are only 2 possible PBL cases, either the T-perm or the Y-perm. So yeah, I'll bring this green down and insert this with an L prime Q2 L. Yeah, so I can't predict the OLL here, so I'll just move into solving it. I'll bring this down and solve it, and as I predicted, I form a layer here, and it's the anti-soon and a T-perm. The next one. So this was a case that I discussed in the layer examples, and I see there's no bar here. So if you know I'm gonna solve it, you must be knowing how I'm gonna solve it. So there's not a layer here, but I know when I match up these two blues will combine together and form a blue layer, which will end up over here. So I'll just form this, and I got a blue layer there. So I'll just keep the layer in front and form the OLL, and that I didn't predict the AUF. Anyways, next scramble. Okay, so we're doing red here. So I'll bring this down and solve this with an RU to R prime. For bar prediction, I see there's not a bar here, and we won't be forming any bar here too, because this is white and this is blue. So ultimately we see that this yellow will match up with this one. So yeah, I'll execute this, and we predicted right, and I get a soon here, and this nice VFX. It's the 4th scramble. Alright, so this is a pretty easy thing that okay, so I can already see that there's no bar here, but when I bring this white over to here, so I'll be bringing this white over and solving it with an L prime U to L, When I bring this over, we will match these two reds up and we'll form a red bar here. So I'll just execute this and solve it like that. Rotate, and I see I've got a stool. This is with the U2 AUF. Yeah, the last scramble. All right. Okay, so look closely. The way I'm gonna solve this one is, so what I'll do is I'll first form this bar here and preserve this bar, and finally just put this bar down here. So since I said I will join these two, I saw this yellow and this yellow, and I know these will combine together and form a yellow bar right here. So I bring this over, I move it with R2, bring it back, and just bring this over, and I formed a yellow bar. So this nice OLL, and you got a T power here. So yeah, this is pretty much I wanted to talk about getting sub 5 on 2x2. So if this video helped you, please leave a like and do subscribe. I am lacking on subscribers there. So yes, if you've got any doubts, don't hesitate to put them down in the comments section. I'll definitely be answering all of them. And yeah, this is pretty much. Please subscribe, guys. Thanks.